I cannot believe it's July already, but let's talk about the seeds. Yes, the seeds, you can still start here in July in a cold climate. I feel like you're going to be shocked by this list. If your lettuce has started to look like this, or when you go to chew on said lettuce, it tastes a little chemically and sour, that's a sign that it's time to reseed said lettuce. This can include lettuce, arugula, spinach. Now keep in mind, they are going to do best in a shadier area or a cooler space in the backyard. Don't put them in a ton of heat because they will do exactly this again. And this is what we call bolting. So now the other option is actually to start the spinaches, the lettuces, the arugulas indoors, keep them indoors, and then transplant them out at around the end of August or mid-August when the nights are beginning to become much cooler. And then you won't end up with this bolting, but you will end up with some delicious greens to eat later on in the summer. And if your lettuce doesn't look like this yet, good job. You know how to garden. You probably don't have to watch this channel anymore. Next up, we have squash are so prickly. I feel like my legs, I just did that. So have a hairy leg face off with you. I will win. I will win. Next up is actually things like radish, turnips, broccoli, cauliflower, kohlrabi. All of these plants can be started indoors or outdoors. It depends on kind of what your goals are. And this will allow you to get that second harvest off of these plants. But furthermore, it will actually allow for a tastier breast cake. Now, this is specifically been studied in things like radish and turnips and rutabaga and kohlrabi, and along with things like kale. It doesn't apply so much to the cauliflower broccoli world, but to these guys it absolutely does. And that is frost. Now this process of frost or getting these guys hit with frost actually results in a sweeter, tastier root vegetable or foliage in the case of kale. And this actually holds true for things like carrots and beets as well. It is a little bit sweeter, a lot tastier of a veggie. And so if you're going into preservation or into direct, just even eating these, starting them now and then allowing them to get hit by that frost later this season is a very good way to get some tasty root crop veg. And I never believed this until my grandma said, try it one year. I did. She was right. They are carrots in particular, absolutely delicious after they get hit with frost. Next up is actually cold hardy herbs, or herbs that are best grown in cooler conditions. So your dill probably is looking something like this, and it has technically bolted. Now, we do use these obviously in this state for pickling and that sort of thing, which is great. But if you are more interested just in the leaf portion for things such as mushroom dill gravy, that is very popular in Canada amongst the Ukrainians. I know this because I have to make it all the time for every family occasion. Want more of the leaf. Same with things like cilantro, for example. Another one that will bolt very easily in a warmer condition. So these guys, you can actually reseed now, either again outdoors or inside, and then transplant outdoors later, waiting until around that August 6th mark when the nights become a little bit longer, a little bit cooler, helping prevent against this bolting process. I miss the smell of fresh dill, I'm not gonna lie. Like, why? Oh, so good. Next up is going to be hands down probably one of the most common questions I start to get in fall, and that is about cover crops. So cold climate people, if you want to do cover crops, and for good reason, there was a meta-analysis done in 2020 that showed cover crop, regardless of type, it didn't even have to be legume version of it, helped increase both nitrogen and organic material inside of the system, which is hugely beneficial if you have a very stubborn soil. So something that is incredibly compacted would benefit from this. Something that is incredibly sandy would benefit from this. Well, very simply put, a new garden takes around the 3-year mark to really start producing. And if you put cover crops in that space, you can help expedite that process enormously just because of how aggressively they grow. Now, with that being said, this is the time to do it if you're in a cold climate. You can't wait too much longer than this because then you're not going to get the benefit of a larger sized plant being in there as a cover crop. So yes, you have until the beginning of August, but it is something to consider. So if you're removing old lettuce, old radishes, old carrots, things that are spent, done, and you have a bare space and you want to try cover cropping, instead of doing another crop, unless of course it's like a 30-day crop, you may want to consider the buckwheats, the clovers, the alfalfas, whatever you so choose and desire. I have a whole video on cover crops. Go check that out if you want more information on which one to go with. But regardless, that is definitely a July ad. Next up is the beautiful bush bean world. So these are not runner beans, they are bush beans. They stay relatively short and stout. This is the height that they get to. And these guys, you can see, are already beginning to flower. And in around 2-ish weeks, there's going to be a buttload of beans in this area. I don't know what happened to these guys. Oh, that's thistle. Ew. Why? This is why I can't film next to my gardens and get like beautiful actual shots of me gardening, because distractions, heavy distractions. And would I rather be gardening than filming? No, because I love the geek crew and I like hanging out with you guys. So anyways, these guys, if you haven't planted them, you can plant now. You can also put them in a barren area. They will act as a cover crop, along with obviously giving you some produce as well. They are not cold hardy because they're going to take around a month and a half. They may be getting to the tail end of August, beginning of September before they're going to be able to start giving you your beans. So you may need to consider a low cover crop in the event that things get a little cold, a little nipply, if you will. Now the last one is actually strawberries. Your strawberries are going to have runners right now, and your strawberries are also going to be incredibly spent. There shouldn't be much for blooms or actual strawberries left unless you have like an ever-bearing version. But if you have a June bearing, for sure, it's done. You want to actually remove those runners from the mother plant, get them rooted so that they have a very solid root system going into the fall and into the winter. This will ensure that much needed energy is getting pushed back into the mother plant and away from runners, and that the runners themselves are being left to their own devices and making you more strawberry plants that are genetically sound or engineered towards your climate. So I can guarantee you those runners are going to produce a heck of a lot better than the mamas did, solely because they grew up in the hardships that is our cold climates. So Geek Crew, I hope this gave you some ideas on what to do for seed starting in January, July. Oh my goodness. Let me know in the comments down below what seeds you intend to start in July, or if you are tapped out and done when it comes to seed starting anyways in the garden. I will talk to you guys next time. Bye.